The MPP has also indicated that they identified some errors after perusing the provisional voters register. They are going to submit those errors to the Electoral Commission and have them corrected. In fact, during the week, there was a court ruling in Kumasi, specifically this is the Mensa South constituency, where some members of the MPP actually took an issue to court with respect to some voters who were wrongly or illegally transferred. The court ruled that that process should be reversed. In fact, don't know if you've seen that.
Yes.
And now this is an issue that has also triggered further conversation as to what could have been the extent of the errors that we are seeing. And that's why the NDC is convinced that they would want the Electoral Commission consider a forensic audit. The EC responded to the NDC's petition. We'll put portions of that on the screen right now. But essentially, the Electoral Commission says that, one, they have the systems and structures. The IT system is robust to identify all of this and correct them. And then also the period, even though they admit that they did not make the register available to you, the parties in good time, it was enough time for you to peruse it before the registration, that's the voter exhibition, started. The exercise started on the 20th. The NDC, you say you got it on the 19th, a day before, 1 p.m. the day before. Then you had to do the work of identifying all of these errors. They say that they want you around the table to see the full extent of the errors that you have identified. But then again, Dr. Bosman Asari says that your errors have been corrected as well. Now, do these responses, as in this document by the Electoral Commission, satisfy you as a party?
I don't think that they do satisfy us. I have not read the document that you have referred to.
It's a 9-page.
Yeah, I heard of it in the media. I tried to search for it. Probably I should have asked you for it before coming here. You know, but you see, when you have a situation where the institution of state that is supposed to be a neutral arbiter in the conduct of elections in the country, that is supposed to adhere to the constitutional principles of probity, accountability, and transparency, is being dodgy when it comes to the execution of its own mandate. Then we have cause to be worried, because from the document that you have read, the EC has claimed that its IT system is robust. And as a result of the robustness of the IT system, they are confident that nothing untoward has happened. All right? Or whatever, has happened can be easily, corrected using the IT system. Okay? Alfred, we have been here in this country when it was reported that someone in Tamale South constituency took the ID cards, the voter ID cards of, voters in Tamale South, 26 of them, and virtually used that, okay, without their being present, to transfer their votes to Pusiga. How did they do that? A robust IT system should have prevented that from happening, given the fact that they were not present, given the fact that their biometrics were not taken, all right, before the transfer was effected. Okay? But without the biometrics, and without them even knowing that they had, a transfer was being done behind their back, all right, these transfers were effected to Pusiga. All right? Using the IT system. In fact, the Tamale South offender did not take the ID cards and go to Pusiga to do it. They did it in Tamale. So there's an electronic footprint that shows that in Tamale South, these were, effected, all right, and it was also, allowed by the Pusiga a person. Okay? Even if the ID cards were taken to Pusiga, right, it means that the 26 persons must have been in Pusiga for for the transfer to be effected.
Because
all right?
they have to physically
without
appear.
being there, without being physically present. And then the system allowed the transfer to take place, meaning that the system is not as robust as is being claimed. All right. It is thanks to the vigilance of the able elections directorate personnel headed by the Honorable Omani Buama, through their diligence, through their vigilance, that they detected that these violations have taken place, that these errors have been made. So if the evidence has been presented to you, okay, and you have accepted that, the Electoral Commission has not denied that the errors have occurred, right? The admission that the errors have occurred in and of themselves, that admission in and of itself shows that the IT system is not robust. Okay? Because
that they admit
that the errors have occurred and that they have corrected the errors. Okay? Now, if you look, the Electoral Commission is supposed to be, is independent under the Constitution. All right? But as Gbadegbe GSC said in Abu Ramadan and the report, Abu Ramadan and Attorney General, the Electoral Commission is independent but is subject to the Constitution and the laws of this country. If you look at the CI 91, that is a public, elections, voter registration instrument, okay, 2016, CI 91. There is a mandatory provision to the effect that the provisional register should be given to each political party, registered political party. It is for no reason that the lawmaker, right, the EC itself brought this instrument to Parliament in 2016. All right, and Parliament passed the instrument for them. It is for no reason that Parliament, agreed or enacted a law that says that you have to give a copy of the provisional register to the political parties. The provisional register is not a photo album meant to be given to them for them to just, look at beautiful pictures of registered voters. It is meant to be given to them so that they can look in, having participated in the process of registration, they can, peruse the register and carefully, detect, if possible, all right, any mistakes that have been made with respect to the register. And that is what the NDC is doing. And you have already, as you have already also cited the case of the Manshia South, issue, all right, that I think over 1,000 transfers were challenged, and they were successful. So it means that there are concrete, issues with the voter register as we have it now. All right. So if we are calling for a forensic audit, there's nothing wrong with that. And in fact,
the Electoral Commission says there's really no need for it because their systems and structures now is doing the work.
No, they haven't demonstrated that, to the NDC and to all the political parties and to the citizens of this country. In fact, they are supposed to account to the citizens of this country for the work that they do. All right. So if there are concerns, okay, for instance, how do I know that on election day I am not going to wake up only to find that my name is in Adenta and not in Zorungu? I need to be sure that there will not be any displacement of my name, all right, from Zorungu to Adenta. So as a citizen, I should be concerned that these things are happening. And the Electoral Commission has to assure me that the register, if certified, because under CI 91, all right, as amended by CI 126, okay, the certification process, okay, means that at the end of certification, you cannot raise an issue again about deficiencies in the register. That is the register that will now head us into the election. All right. So at this level where the provisional register is being contested, it is only fair to all stakeholders and to the citizens of this country that the Electoral Commission should do the right thing, okay, by allowing for a forensic audit to take place. In any case, the same Madam Jane Mensa, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, whilst in, at IE, when the MPP was calling for a forensic audit, I think around late 2015, early 2016, all right, she supported that call. Is it because it was someone else who was on the seat that she thought that the person wasn't doing a good job, and therefore there was no robust IT system, and therefore there was a need for a forensic audit? That forensic audit took place. In fact, even after it took place, there was still litigation, and that is how come Abu Ramadan number 1 and Abu Ramadan number 2 took place in the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court ordered the Electoral Commission, then headed by Madam Charlotte Osei, all right, to delete, expunge a number of names, of persons who were identified as either, dead or underage or not otherwise qualified to register. Okay, and that was done. So, in the interest of transparency, it is only fair that they accept with humility, okay, that they have not done a very good job with the registration. That the system as they have it, the IT system that as they have it, has been breached, as evidence in the Pusiga, issue that I have raised, and then also by the evidence of the evidence that was presented by the NDC to them. Okay,
you are asking to have access to their IT protocols to know who gets into the system, who has access into the system, and through which back end and so on. They also say that that's really not necessary.
No. It's necessary. It's necessary because let me tell you something, Alfred. When the register is compiled, it is compiled into something that looks like it's a booklet like this, right? And it is given to the political parties. The IT system contains the electronic version of this booklet. So if you give me the electronic version, if you give me the hard copy of the booklet, all right, and the hard copy is supposed to be, let's for want of a better expression, a carbon copy of the electronic version. And I'm telling you that, okay, I could look at this book from the last page to the first page, right? When you talk about back end and front end, that is what it means. All right. Now, electronically, let me go in and then verify from the back end, okay, whether what is contained in the register, okay, is authentically reflected in what you have given me. Why is that a difficult thing to do? Why is that an invasion of the independence of the Electoral Commission? Because you are just simply complying with what the law has said. The Electoral Commission is an administrative, a body. And under Article 23 of the Constitution, they are supposed to act in a fair and reasonable manner and to comply with all the requirements imposed on them by law. That is what Article 21 says. What does it mean to act fairly? Okay, acting fairly means that all stakeholders, right, you must take their concerns into account. All right. You see, there is a certain perception, or let me say, their conduct is giving rise to a certain perception. Okay, whether rightly or wrongly, they are being perceived as being in bed with the MPP, and that is not good for their independence. The chairperson and the commissioners must demonstrate that, okay, they are, independent, neutral arbiters. Okay, and that they are treating the NDC as fairly as they are treating the MPP.
Okay,
but it appears that now, because the MPP is not concerned about whatever is happening, okay, they don't really care. But let me say that if the MPP begins to raise issues about this register, Jane Mensa will ask for an audit to take place.
Well, here's the General Secretary of the party, Justin Frimpong Kodia. indicating they've also seen errors in the register. Take a look.
Detected some errors in the register. Some including dead people in the register, and some people whose name has been transferred, or some people who wanted to do transfers but has not been effected. All these things are what we are planning to send to the Electoral Commission next week, based on what we have detected. And we expect the Electoral Commission to use their internal mechanism to address all those issues.
Well, so that's just an important Kodiade. So you said they're also concerned, is it not? I mean, is this not an expression of concern that they have also identified the errors?
No, but you see, it then buttresses, you know, the genuineness or legitimacy of the demands being made by the NDC. If the two major political parties, all right, you know, have come to the conclusion that there are errors on the register, then it means that the register, to all intents and purposes, is not fit for purpose.
Great, but it's the process of correction. The Electoral Commission stands by the position that they have the competence to correct these errors. You say that to the extent that you committed those errors yourself, you've admitted to some extent of the criminality in the case of the Pusiga situation, then you are not the same persons to correct these criminal acts.
Yes.
You want a forensic audit.
Yeah.
I think that's where the departure is.
Yeah, but Alfred, the forensic audit cannot be conducted by the EC, right? By the EC itself. Does the EC have the capabilities to be able to conduct a forensic audit of its own register? It does not. You know, I have been in this game for, I would say, 12 years now, almost. In December will be 12 years. All right. I have dealt with the EC at all levels, from the constituency level to the regional level, all the way to the national level. They do not have the capabilities, technically, to conduct a forensic audit. And that is the only way by which we can say if the IT system has in any way been compromised, that may lead, you know, to illegal vote transfers and so on and so forth. Because look, I mean, this is a very serious issue that, I mean, can easily compromise the integrity of our democratic process. Okay? We can have a situation where, let's say, I mean, you have a marginal constituency. I'm just giving an example.
Okay.
A marginal constituency where usually the MPP or the NDC wins by, let's say, 1,000, votes. All right. All you need to do electronically is to move 3,000 votes, you know, of known MPP persons to that constituency or known NDC persons to that constituency, and you tilt the balance, in favor of the party whose members have been transferred to that. That is electronic gerrymandering. Okay, and that is a big concern for all of us. The will of the people must truly reflect what it is. That at the end of the day, when voters come out and they queue in the sun or in the rain and then vote, okay, their preference must be reflected. Not that you sit in the office, in the comfort of your office, and basically transfer votes, you know, that will tilt the balance of power in favor of a candidate, okay, who will not be the candidate, who would otherwise not have been the candidate for that constituency. All right. Right. And even in terms of the presidential, okay, let me just use the Pusiga example, for instance. All right. So Pusiga, you have 26 people were sent from Tamale South. And you know that Tamale South, my junior brother, the former leader, Honorable Haruna Idris's constituency, is predominantly NDC. NDC wins there by about 85-90% in every election. All right. So, on a balance of probabilities, these 26 voters would likely be NDC voters. What you are doing is to disenfranchise them by sending them to Pusiga. Because on election day, right, they go to Tamale South, they go to their polling station, and they won't be able to vote. Now, Alfred, just multiply 26, okay, by the number of polling stations. Pardon?
There's 38 actually.
Yeah, 38.
38, not 26.
Oh, no, is it? I thought they started off with 26.
No, it's actually 38.
Okay, 38. Okay, so take 38 and multiply the 38 by, let's say, 8,000 polling stations. All right. Presidentially, if they even estimate that half of these polling stations all right, are NDC dominant polling stations, okay, you multiply 38, okay, by 4,000. How many do you get? Right? That is over 400,000.
Yes.
And that can tilt the presidential election in favor of Baumia very, very easily. So electronically, you can disenfranchise and win the election. That's what I call the electronic gerrymandering. You basically disenfranchise voters that you know will vote along a certain party line, and then make sure that once they are disenfranchised on that day, that party is going to lose over 400,000 votes. So these are very serious, major issues that the Electoral Commission should not be, toying with.
Well, you asked for a re-exhibition of the register after the correction of these errors. They said they will do that electronically. They will do it online.
Well, see, when I saw that, Alfred, that's a very laughable, response to our demand. You know why? My constituency, Bolga East, all right, is partly urban, partly peri-urban. I will even say urban. It's partly peri-urban, all right, and mostly rural. How many people have smartphones, tablets, or computers in Bolga East to be able to go, and verify electronically, that, their names are on the register? Okay, so if during the process of the physical, exhibition, errors were detected, and through the diligence of the NDC, we brought these errors to your attention. You are now telling us that you have corrected the errors, and you are now going to put it on the website for all citizens to go to the website to go and then, verify. I think that this is laughable, honestly.
I said it will be at no cost to the citizens.
At no cost to who?
It says the commission provided the the provisional voters register. These are the responses, which you had not indicated. So you raised a question about for instance, the smartphone or internet penetration and so on, or even the smartphone penetration.
Right.
Not necessarily. Well, they said they're going to use a USSR. So USSD, I beg your pardon, USSD code, which would not necessarily have you to use a smartphone for that matter.
Even if you are talking about ordinary phones, what is the level of penetration?
And then also the literacy of it. Yes.
Right. And so the point is that there's a major stakeholder that has identified the errors. Okay. If it will cost you maybe 2 million Ghana cedis to hire an independent, audit firm to do the forensic audit, how much is that compared to the damage that you can do to our democracy by not allowing this to happen? Okay, so the cost implication, the cost argument is not one that is acceptable.
Okay, so the commission intends to implement an online exhibition of the PVR, that's what's on the screen, at no cost to registered voters. Voters will be able to report on anomalies with their details within a time frame to be made available to the public. The voters register will be displayed online until election day. That's a response to you.
So are they saying that on election day, if I find my name not in the register at my polling station, let's say I go online and I find that my name is in Accra, I will call Jim Mensa's office and they will now get my name back to the Zorumu Social Center Catholic, polling station